We are live.
Raven, the GS, yo, 1/3 of what's up.
Sam, the legend behind the checkers.
Help us save the Oasis.
I saw this last night, and I did really enjoy it. I did like all the characters, sort of the reveal of them all at the end, because obviously they're all avatars, so you don't really find out. So that was good. They weren't sort of what I was expecting, so that was quite cool. It was really fun and entertaining. It was very different, sort of very different concept, which I did really like. Yeah, it's all round entertaining, really. I liked everything.
Hello, so this is my very first Stardust review, and the movie that I actually just came back from watching was Ready Player One. So just wanted to say how much of a great movie it was. Me and my friend, we had a lot of fun watching it. The movie had a lot of good references to things that we know from games and other movies. They tied in a certain horror movie from everyone's past very well. It was really funny, I would say, but it was also heartwarming as well, so everyone go watch it.
Everyone who's going to see this movie, make sure you bring a basket because you're going Easter egg hunting. With all the reference and the culture to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and a little bit of today, it was awesome. I'm still processing how I feel about this movie, but I was smiling from beginning to end. I wanted to read this book. I didn't get a chance to, but even if you didn't, you're definitely going to have a great time. So definitely check it out. I'm going to see it 3 more times.
We are live. Guys, it's Raven the GS.
What's that, Mr. Blitz Tech?
And this is Ready Player One. We ain't done this in a minute. Ready Player One review. And for those who don't know, this movie is based on a novel by Ernest Cline, directed and produced by Steven Spielberg, and with the cast, Tyler Sheridan, Olivia Cook, Ben Mendelsohn, who else? T.J. Miller, Simon Pegg, Mark Rylance, Alan Silversteering. Like, we always get these names wrong. Michael Kahn and Sarah Broshan. Now, very exciting movie. I've been waiting because clearly everybody just left us, and we only got to do this review right now. And Sam, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
How was your holidays?
It was decent.
Yeah?
It was right, man.
Alright, cool. I've been dying for you to get back to the UK so we could finally watch this and do the review. But yes, let's start off with your thoughts on this movie.
So my thoughts on this movie is that I'm kind of glad that it's not a carbon copy of the novel.
Right.
So I read the novel, I heard you guys saying, read a book from the trailer reaction. I was like, I'm going to go do that, so read the book is good, and like I said, it's not the novel.
It's not
like, it's completely different, almost a completely different take, but it's the same kind of backstory.
Alright.
Like, what's his face? The guy dies, wants to go with his legacy to the wand, you can get the Easter egg. And it's a good, fun, enjoyable ride, good adventure, little nods here and there to the 80s, and all these other characters that everyone's gonna know. Like, if you don't know someone that cameos in this movie, you're lost. You are actually lost.
Alright, so let me pick up firstly on the novel, which I never got around to read it. So I'm actually glad that, what you're saying is that it's completely different from the book, because now I get to have Ready Player One twice instead of being the same thing. And obviously, usually it's very, very hard to portray something from a book to the big screens. We've seen it many times. He has failed. I mean, I love the Da Vinci Code, and when the movie came, it was just horrible. You know what I mean? Like, and even though I love Tom Hanks, but he just couldn't save that movie. So I'm actually really pleased for that. Now, my thoughts on this movie, oh my goodness. and I gotta say this, I feel that you got cheated because you didn't get to see, you didn't get to experience it in 3D, which was my first experience when I watched this movie, and I was like, oh my god, no, what, no, like, it's just so crazy, and hopefully you get to watch in 3D, but obviously when you watch for the first time, it obviously won't be the same. So, but I enjoyed this movie, very nostalgic, all my days, like, I remember coming out of this movie, and I was just like, this is so taking us to the 70s, 80s, and you know, even the 90s as well. Like if you was up there, like early 90s. So and the cool thing is, I remember like my brother came with me. Now my brother's 19 years old, but he grew up watching stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, oh, I remember that. Oh, where did I see that before? Like all these little gems, like just like with the culture that we grew up. And this movie to me is definitely up there, man. So I'm really pleased. Steven Spielberg,
man's still doing it.
Is, oh my days, like, fam.
Man's a national treasure now.
It really is. Like, I really believe that this movie is gonna make history. It's gonna be up there when it comes to movies, because the direction of it, the delivery is just absolutely brilliant.
Like, it's like, I don't know how, like, well, first of all, it had to be done anyway because of all the references compared to, like, nowadays movies. Like, obviously, like I said, they go back. In fact, the starting thing was that whole soundtrack. I can't remember the soundtrack then, but it just starts you off straight away. They can't let you know from the get-go, but as soon as the movie keeps going on and playing on, like, it obviously references to even nowadays stuff, like, guy goes, she's on Twitch.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It goes back and forth. You're literally in a time machine, and you keep going back and forth. And the cool thing about it is that they're in 2045 or something, but everything that we get is from like 80s, 70s, and it's just like, what? Like, how do you put a spin on that? So, which I can only imagine that the book then. It's harder, man. It's mind blowing, right? See, I gotta read it.
Yeah, you gotta read the book, but no, they did like a very good job bringing everything to screen. Because, like I was saying, bringing what they had in the book, they would have to put it probably in 2 parts, and I'm not gonna agree with that. If they split up the book, would have made no sense. But they were able to put everything into 2 hours and 19 minutes. I think it is. Yeah, they did a good job doing that.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, like this, I have to keep going on about it because this movie's just mind blowing, man. Like, seriously, the characters that come through, like, I gotta start talking about Gundam because when Gundam came through, and by the way, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't watched it, you might want to pause this and then, you know, go and watch the movie and then come back to us. But when Gundam came through, it was like, oh my god, no! It's like, and the whole crowd was going crazy. So whenever we saw like a big character, everybody went nuts. I remember there was like this dude. He might have been, I don't know, late 40s, early 50s, and he's losing his mind. Like, he's absolutely losing his mind. Like the characters they've seen. So references are there.
Yeah. Like,
and there's the thing. Unless you know what he's talking about, it's just gonna go by you and you won't pick it up, which is cool, you know what I mean. But it adds more value to if you know where the reference came from or what they're talking about. So, awesome stuff, man. All right, so story. Now, as you mentioned, completely different from the book. But what is your take on the story that Steven Spielberg has given us?
I just think though, the story itself hasn't changed too much. So obviously, like I said, I can't remember his name, dude. The main guy, obviously, he created the Oasis with Simon Pegg's character. Obviously, they created the Oasis. It's meant to be a game, but obviously, like I said, things are going to keep moving forward. So it kind of evolved into a reality. Everyone likes to escape to, likes to become another avatar, so to speak. And obviously, when he dies, then whoever is going to get this Easter egg is going to become like the owner and whatever. And that, for me, that's like a good story because like you'd want to make a legacy. And I think we was even discussing that, like places like Microsoft, Apple, or Google, all these like massive companies, obviously, they're going to be the forefront or have been the forefront of technology, and eventually they're going to have to be like, we're going to pass it down to a newer generation with a newer like side of things.
Right.
And that's what this movie basically is, and that story is just going to resound through time, so to speak. Like, that's always going to happen, but then there's always going to be a corporation that's going to be like, we need that so we can sell all this, all this other in between stuff just to make more money. And then, like the guy said, it's like, we need to keep our board members happy. No, we need to make more money.
More money.
It's not about the money.
It's
It's not about the money. Even like the guy about to sign the contract is like, no, this is wrong.
Right.
He already immediately knew. And even then it's like, I don't mind splitting it with the high five and whatever, because it's about like passing it on to the younger generation, seeing what they can do with the future, rather than like, oh, now I've got tons of money, now I need to make more money, which always isn't the case.
Just rip people off.
That's
like,
it.
No, I think like there's definitely some strong messages within the story. So I'll get there in a second, but my first take with this is that the fact that this story is based on a timeline in the past, right? And now you have the present, which is obviously what they're going through, the emotion they're going through, trying to, complete the story, find the keys. But then they're also in the future. Now, the future looks very grim, right? And the past, it just seems so much fun. And the fact that they managed to put this whole spin onto it, like, yo, I'm in the future, but I'm playing games from the past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is, like, just the sound of that just is mind-blowing. Now, the way this story goes for me as well is that what we're going through today's age, we're just overloaded with, like, especially gaming, and everybody is in the cyber world.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely like important messages within this movie, which obviously reflects in the book. Like, that's just your typical, whenever book is good, like, there's always deep and meaningful messages with it. So I totally get that. I totally resonate with that, and that's something that, whenever you overload with something, it's bad for you. And he was aware of that. It was like, yo, although we're always moving forward, and that's just the nature of things of us human beings, but it's like, yo, not everything has to evolve. Like, certain things are perfect the way they are. And because as human beings always trying to move forward and push buttons and trying to reach, new places where sometimes it's not even needed.
That's it.
Where you are is just perfect. You know what I mean? So, and we talk about gaming all the time, and sometimes it's too much, like the way these companies go on about things and trying to rip people off. It's all about money, and then it ruins the experience, which we end up getting in the story. It's like you're plugged into this world so much that now you become a slave, and if you're not careful, you become in debt.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
real
deep.
life. Yeah.
That's real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these microtransactions. That's real life stuff. So hopefully, some corporations in the real world can take a page or two from this movie, because soon you'll be out of business.
No joke.
Anyway, listen, it just shows the passion that people have to entertainment, and not just gaming as well. Everything. I know we always talk about this, and it is a serious subject, but like, escapism is something that we all deal with. You know what I'm saying? We all need to, and entertainment is the best thing for human beings. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about the Great Depression, cinemas and theaters were selling out.
Exactly.
Why? Because people are depressed, and you can see in this world, like, look where they're living. Like, so this story, the messages, absolutely brilliant, and I just love the direction of it. Everything was spot on.
That's what I mean. Like, even going deep down into like the avatars, especially H. And in the I don't want to say too much, but in the movie they didn't touch on it too much. But she was nothing compared to what Avatar was, and she was the one saying, "Well, this what do you call it? Artemis is some dude." 300 pounds, the guy like your mother's basement kind of thing.
It's real stuff.
Yeah, it's true. And you're the one, like she's the one that actually some tall, old looking, like dude. Right. But in the real world, she's like a girl,
a cool girl.
That's
like,
it.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, but that's just exposes at the same time. There's two takes to that. The dangers of it, because there's. With kids being online and stuff you never know who's going into something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but then it's. But I just love the way they threw that out there without saying much.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
But in the book they kind of touched on when they first met, he was like, my best friend is nothing like my avatar, but we could finish it up with sentences, and even though they met in real life, we're still the same people.
Right.
No matter what. So that kind of stuff I thought was, like magical, but
alright.
Still dangerous.
Alright, now moving on to acting. Now I feel that every character belonged in that world. Like the acting was spot on, you know what I mean? And I feel that Mark's Rylance character, which is the creator, his persona was just spot on. Like the way he delivered it, it was just like, I don't know. Every time he spoke, I was like he was so soft, but at the same time, like everything you wanted to pick up every little thing that he said. So I think that sort of acting is phenomenal. It's just I loved it.
I was going to say that as well. Like he was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie where, like, if you was to see him outside the movie, you know he wouldn't act like that.
Right.
But he was so deep in the character, like you could kind of tell, like someone who created such a vast world, who wanted people to experience, I don't know, virtual reality in another sense. You could kind of tell he was withdrawn like that to let everyone know, maybe I'm not like this, but somewhere else, it could be something like better kind of thing. So obviously he was kind of withdrawn. He couldn't, make out with girls or go to another base or whatever you call it.
But when it comes to gaming, it's funny you saying that now. And I'm gonna share with you guys the story when we went to the Call of Duty worldwide reveal. Yeah. They had one of the biggest Call of Duty gamers live, and he froze, and we were just like, oh, and they had to get someone to come and save him because he was live. Yeah. And it just shows whenever you're in the game, you're because you're within your element, you are who you are. You're able to express, you're able to excel. But as soon as it hits real life, you become that, you withdraw again. You become that,
kind of realize where you are.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, I'm just this little person. My voice is not. I don't project it as much. That's again, it just shows the brilliance of this movie and how much we who are into this subject, who live through whether it's gaming, movies, comics, we just embrace it so much. You know what I'm saying? That we end up becoming this charismatic person. Almost become the character within that platform itself. You know what I'm saying? Which is really cool. Another thing that I really, really loved is the balance between the real character and the avatars. That is so cool. You know what I mean? So you have the ninja who's don't say much. Right? Yeah. So the ninja is obviously it's a ninja. You're supposed to be stealth, quiet. So he doesn't say much. I don't even think he says anything. Not really. He barely says anything. Yeah. Come real life, 11-year-old.
That's it. Man's full of mouth.
Whoa! Ninjas don't hug. He's got all this attitude, and you're just like.
He saved it. He stole the show every time he was on the screen. I loved him as well. Like you say, what? Oh, you show? Well, because I'm 11-year-old, like I can't be who I am. Like,
go on, shoot the 11-year-old. What? Where did that come from?
So
like,
true, so true. But that kind of stuff was hilarious. But yeah, like between the 5 of them, I think all of them were a good mix mash. Like they all came well together. But I like my villains. But out of the 2 villains between Ben Middleton and TJ Miller, I think TJ Miller was way better.
Oh yeah,
I found Ben a bit campy, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
maybe it's the general Krennic in me because I love Krennic so much in Star Wars Rogue One, but like I feel like I don't know. I just love like whenever I see Ben Middleton act, like I just love the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just does his thing. So I guess each person get to pick their own little villain, but I think those 2 were brilliant. Obviously, the other guy, he was funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he was more in touch within the Avatar world, while Ben Middleton's character was more like corporate. So he just uses that platform. You know what I'm saying? But he's more into the corporate side now. So I guess he's more corrupted, sort of thing. So that's.
But I have to think I liked his avatar a lot more though.
Oh yeah, his avatar.
His avatar was just up, man. First of all, when he came out into the Oasis part, I thought, is he choosing Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, he was wench.
Black hair, he just looked like a Bruce Wayne kind of like suited and booted kind of look, and his eyes just look.
Yeah, his eyes are
changing constantly.
It's mad.
Yeah, I like
it. The good thing about it is that the face kind of went. It was like his face. It was actually his face, but it's just brolic.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
like he had a menacing stature about him. But then when you came to the real, I'm like, I don't care actually. Like, I actually feel like I could throw you about. But there's times where he seemed a bit serious, but his I guess, and the person below him, she knew how to kind of worm her way into his head, as well as, like you said, do the dirty deeds.
Right.
Need to be done. Obviously, he was like, oh, I made you what you are today. I got you onto like the boards or whatever. But for me, she was like, boy, I don't want to mess with her. And then when she came onto the van, I did not expect that.
Yeah, see, like, so it just shows the mixture of characters brought in. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're talking about the second biggest corporation, you know what I'm saying? So obviously you have each person that deals with certain aspects of the company, and clearly, you know, she handles all the dough. Even she tells me, yo, do your job, I'll do mine, because I know you can't do what I can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Moon kicks and all them things that's mad. So but yeah, like that little fight scene at the end was like, whoa, like where did that come from?
Exactly, like I didn't expect it, but I did like it. But TJ Miller's character, oh my god, like the man just has to throw jokes. Like I wasn't expecting it. I was like, this guy looks kind of serious, kind of menacing. And all of a sudden he would just say some dumb stuff and it would just flow really well. I'm like, you know what? I like that flying, and him's like the character himself, when it came down to like, you know, when he was like shooting at them or this, that and the other, I liked it a lot. Yeah,
so he's like, so with his character, I felt he was like a torn character for me, who he knows his stuff, like as you can see in the movie, like he does all, like he's proper plugged in, YouTube, Twitch streams, like all the big names out there. He sits down, researches, listens. You know what I mean? So he's that book that just knows everything, almost like a dictionary for this gaming industry. So, but like, he's also like caught up in a situation where he's not reaching his potential, but he knows stuff. And maybe because, and this is where I find it so cool that within the help of the high five, he unlocks his character. You see, it's almost like levels. If you see it from the beginning, like he's coming down the high rise. Is it high rise? It's called the apartments.
Yeah.
And his neighbor's like, yo, what's wrong? You know what I mean? Like he's just living in this place where it feels he hasn't tapped into what he's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So it's like he's going to a job, but then as soon as he gets to an Oasis, it's like, this is my again
different man, like
escapism. So this is where I find that the high five. So his teammates help him become who he's supposed to. You know, he's finding. You know, so and he just develops. Obviously, he's got that charisma, but again, he doesn't have any friends to talk to like that apart from H. You know what I mean? So, but as soon as he gets because you bounce off each other. Now my guy is just, and he just comes out so naturally. So, well portrayed, on point.
Yeah, like I'd say the same thing. Like he was a good Pedro. He was a good like forefront protagonist. Like that's the thing though. I do find his and Artemis' character, like Avatar, really strange. I didn't get the whole lizardly looking skin. Like obviously you get people coming in as Halo warriors, you see Street Fighter characters, you see DC Batman's mentioned, you see Batgirl. You know, there's like the avatars. Obviously, if that's what they want to be created, that's cool. But it's just a bit weird. But saying that, like you're saying, the more he was adventuring between finding out all these other things going on, finding out who are finally seeing Artemis, and obviously interacting with H and finding out that his two friends, Sho and I forgot that one guy's name, other ninja or samurai. He's a samurai.
He's a samurai.
Yeah.
The older guy.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
like they kind of show his, like you're saying, unlocking his potential as it goes on. It's quite good the way they do that.
See, with Olivia Cook's character, because you mentioned you didn't get the bit with the lizardy. See, I think because she was born with the birthmark, like across her face, like first things first, like you got like things in racial, like she's a girl. Like usually, anything to do with your face is like the biggest deal of life. You know what I'm saying? Like so, and you can see she's always covers her head, part of her face, but she's like one of the top players within, you know, like maybe like she's one of the top best streamers.
Well, no,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so now the whole lizard thing comes like, oh, I can look like this, like a bit like Alien, and still be known. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it's also like almost like it plays a part inside her because it's like, oh, my whole life. Remember, even when he says to her, oh, I'm not disappointed, and she's like, oh, you don't have to be nice about it. Like my whole life, I heard about it. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the two come together. Like, cause she might have been alienated because of birthmark in her face. You know, kids make fun of each other. Like, you know, we don't know best. So I think that's where it comes. It plays a part with her being, you know, looking like almost like an avatar.
Yeah.
From the movie Avatar. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's at least that's where I got it from anyway.
Yeah, that's not a good take actually. But yeah, she's a strong female lead. I did like the way she was portrayed as well. Obviously, again in the book, she's quite strong. She like alludes to the point where she doesn't always need someone. And again, they kind of showed that the reason why she's like, I want to be like, you know, this person that's gonna save the Oasis from people like IOI. But yeah, she portrayed pretty well. Yeah, that's about it.
I want to jump on that as well. I love the fact that not everything is to do with Ty's character. It bounces back and forth to the point where I was like, I hope she doesn't betray him because he's putting so much trust in her.
Yeah.
But the fact that responsibility is shared between them, like before anyone else comes in, it's like they're always discussing because he finds the second key, right? The first key. She's the one who actually finds the second key. You know what I'm saying? Then the third key, and then they have to work together to get these keys. But it's like, I love that way. So it's not so much, oh, this character. That's it, yeah. It's a joint thing. Yeah. I love that.
That was really good as well, yeah. I like that.
Alright, cool. Look, moving on to technical director. Yeah. How do you start with this?
Okay, first of all, I love the CGI in this movie. Like, it is good constantly. Like, it doesn't drop off when they're doing the action scenes was immensely crazy, and then it doesn't drop off when they're like, you know, just talking or whatever. But I did notice a lot, like, maybe it's alluding to the world being so crap. But as soon as they came to the real world, have you noticed how spotty and unrealistic, not unrealistic, but like to the point where it's like you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the Oasis, things are just super crisp.
See, I think that was done on purpose because, as we mentioned before, like on our trailer reaction, we said, yo, I want to be able to be in this world, get sucked into the Oasis and feel the difference. So that's done purposely, like, yo, like, because it only makes sense. Like, for you to be invested, it has to work. It has to be like, so it's always just this place where it's grim, like all these people stacked like almost like sardines.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, it's so humane, like you're not supposed, humans not supposed to live like that. But then as soon as you get to the Oasis, the colours, the music, everything, and you're just like lost in this world, and you can go anywhere from there. Like that's just amazing.
Yeah, like again the CGI, which is probably I'd say 70% of this movie.
I'd probably say 100%.
So the whole movie CGI, yeah.
See, here's the thing. I watched this movie in 3D the first time in 3D, and I was lost. And I told you today, I picked up so many more things today than that day because it was like, I was hypnotized literally because everything just like, and I'm not a fan of 3D, but everything just was so smooth, just flew so smoothly across the screen. You know what I mean? Like getting sucked in from like right at the beginning when he goes into the Oasis for the first time and you see the walls. Oh my goodness! Like literally, I got like just like that. So no word of a lie. And yeah, absolutely amazing. So to me, that's 1000% everything. CGI. You know what I'm saying? Now one thing that you did mention that it's clear and it's well composed. Every time there was a lot going on because there's some scenes are very, 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 very hectic, and they pull that seamlessly, like spot on, almost like it's so clear, like that. And I'll give you an example. So when the beginning when we have the car race, and you just see the car drifting, changing, directions and lanes and avoiding obstacles. It's almost you're doing this. Whoa. Like you're trying to die because like you're so like within the scenes. Like it's like I said, man, you got cheated without watching in 3D. But
I'm gonna have to watch it in 3D because like the action scenes in this are just crazy. Like they start you off with good action scene, the whole race, the hardest race to get the first key. And I was like, yeah, in the trailer, again, Pacific Rim Syndrome. I see most of it, and then they just get into it, and nope, like you said, you're sucked in. There's explosions here. There's like bricks falling off here. You see spikes come up. H comes through, like destroying cars. Cars are flipping. Again, cars are drifting. There's a lot going on, but it's so like composed well. Like you're like, whoa, this is like one of the best action scenes I've ever seen.
No shaky cameras, no jarred scenes.
That's it.
Spot on. You can see everything.
Yeah, just loved it. Just loved it a lot. What was the Jade key? What did they do to get that?
Is that the second key?
Yeah.
They had to. So that was when they go into the movie.
Oh my gosh! I was not expecting this again. Not in the book, but I was like, okay, then they're going into The Shining. I was like, okay, what can go on here? And just from the get go, when the ball comes and he goes down the alleyway, he's like, We want to play with us, come play with us. Everyone already knew in the cinema what was going to happen too. Like, don't press that button.
You know what? I personally feel that you should have come watch the movie with me the first time because everyone was reacting. Like, and I told you this whole movie was just reaction upon reaction upon reaction. So you get the Shine, and everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah, it's like everybody do.
And then they go through the first. Obviously, they get in cinemas, and then it says movies. As soon as the door opens, you're actually inside the movie.
It.
How crazy is that transition? Like, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in it, and then like you said, the ball comes. As soon as the ball bounces, everybody's like,
knew. So don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. No. And then the blood comes.
Oh my
again,
gosh.
3D.
Okay,
It's a must. It's a must, bro. It's a must, man.
I can imagine. So then obviously he gets H. Obviously gets by the door 27237. Everyone again was like, oh my gosh, why? Why it opens the door and again like the whole bath lady scene. It's like that kind of stuff. Obviously again it's like real worldish because it had that like, spotty looking feel to it, but like that was just an adventure. We just knew it's like if you was in the Oasis, you would just run out of there. Even if you want to get the key though.
But like it's just again like you're bang on it. Like so you have the movie, and then you have this movie within that movie,
exactly,
and they're both interacting with one another, and you pull that like without no problems. Like it's clear, and you can't even tell. But if you understand, it's like this is a movie, this is another movie, and they're interacting. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
like, and it doesn't look weird, doesn't look off key. It's perfect. So again, like it's hands down. The way this has been shot, the animation, everything put together, brilliant.
And it's just not the novel really, because every time they go through a game in the novel, then they get sent to a portal, which is actually they have to play a role in a movie.
Okay.
So basically, like obviously Pazriel and Artemis, I think H as well. They, like you see, they all like know in and out of. I'm going to call him Anorak because I can't remember the actual guy's name. But Anorak, he like obviously had favorite movies and stuff. So you have to go into a movie and play it part for part, word for word.
Oh, I
to
see.
get the next clue.
Right.
So it's kind of funny how in this that obviously they nodded to one of his favorite movies, which was The Shining, and it wasn't exactly playing the movie part for part, but trying to find out the mysteries of how he's left.
And the fact that Hedge didn't watch the movie, and the ninja goes, I watched the movie through my fingers. I used to scared too much, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Hilarious. So that was really good. I liked it. And then obviously the final key was just obviously just trying to get to the dude's mansion. So I wanted the final battle scene a lot longer. Obviously, I don't know the licensing they got with. I think can we name the characters? So we saw Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
We saw Street Fighter characters.
Yep.
Chun-Li, Ryu.
Yep.
Blanca was in it, but he was in the whole dance scene. We saw Tracer from Overwatch.
Yep.
The Halo soldiers.
Yep.
Oh, no, that was hilarious. Like,
Let me pause. Let me hold you there for a second. This scene with the Halo characters, right? And I know we got it in the trailers, but what we didn't get is the real world.
Loved
the people
it.
in the. They're on the streets. You're running like that on the streets.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
you know what's crazy? You know if you was to walk down the road and you saw a bunch of people running towards you, like just doing this, I would run the opposite way, fam.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And then again, real world transition into the Oasis.
I loved it.
Come on, man.
The first time when they were like going, what? I was like, what are they doing?
Almost like it felt like a Power Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what are they doing? And it was the Ninja Turtles. I was like,
Fam.
I loved it. I loved it.
Like,
Just
just
stuff like that.
peppering the thing up. The whole, I told you, bro. Like it's mad.
Yeah,
like the
it was really
transitions between it, the real world and the Oasis is mad.
It was lovely. But then, oh yeah, we had Battletoads. That was from like some Sega game.
That's old.
Yeah, like
That's
super
old,
The
bro.
fact that they brought them back as well, I was like, I loved it. I can't. Obviously, you had the Iron Giant.
The
How you doing?
memories. Let me tell you what I did. As soon as I finished watching this movie, I went and bought Iron Giant.
Wow.
Surprisingly, only £7.
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the price would have gone up, but no.
That's
So
alright.
£7 Blu-ray. Get
Blu-ray
that,
as
guys.
well.
I don't mess around with DVDs. That died in the past.
Yeah, that was quite good scenes from the Iron Giant. But yeah, the war. I just wanted to see more characters interact. Or no, wait, we did get one. We got Chucky, and even the guy was like, "Oh my God, it's Chucky!" And you see the Iron White guys going, "Doo doo doo doo."
Listen.
Man was just finishing him off.
This scene is so
Oh
good.
my gosh.
How old? What's the age for this movie?
I think 12,
Is
eh?
it 12?
I think so.
How do you have Chucky with a knife on the 12 movie? Like H is like, and this is where they get you. This is where they get you, because H is like there's nothing. Obviously, in the real world, there is nothing. Right? You just have the visors on.
Oh,
you know,
that's
you're
hilarious.
just reacting, right? And she's like, "Here, try this," and you think, right at this point, they're all swapping guns because they're running out of bullets. And you think, oh, he's just about to get another gun. It's Chucky! And he's doing this with a knife. And he tosses Chucky around, and she's like, ah. And then as soon as she chucks it out of the car,
Oh my Lord.
and people actually scream, it's Chucky!
Yeah, like, people going, oh, like losing their minds and stuff. It's like, that's one of the best scenes, just like hands down in the whole. I just wanted more of that. I wanted to see like the ninja. I want to see like more seconds of the Ninja Turtles. I want to see like more Street Fighter. Also, we've got Street Fighter moves. We're going to go to that. I want to see more Street Fighter moves. I wanted to see the Battletoads do something. I wanted to see like in the book. Obviously, everyone has like a mega giant thing.
Yeah, right.
Also, we only got 2 versus the Mecha Godzilla.
Godzilla, Mega Godzilla.
But I want to see more of those versus the IOI, that giant kind of thing. But
I mean, it's stuff. I mean, we get like in the book, you can put all these things in, and you just and your imagination just flows. It just goes, and you're like, oh my god. But then we have to be sensible, and to be honest, we should be really happy with all these characters that we have. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I understand what you're saying. Obviously, we always want more, but it's still brilliant what we got. Like, it's phenomenal, bro. Like, what? I know you didn't say it. I didn't know you didn't say the name. I'm just waiting for you to say the name.
what was that? Go on, you say it, go on, let me know.
What's the name? It came through. I forgot the name.
What gun?
Gundam. My reaction to
Gundam
Gundam,
was deep.
everybody went nuts when Gundam came through. Like, I haven't seen Gundam in like over 20 years. Like, and I just seen, I was like, oh my god, it's Gundam! And again, they get you with these scenes. So the samurai is quiet in the van.
Oh, yeah,
the samurai character is quiet in the van, and it's like, and H is always like, yo, what are you doing? When are you gonna jump in? We need your help. And he gets to the point where they need it most, and he come through. And the thing is, you see him transform into the Gundam.
I love when they transform into the
That
stuff.
is so deep, like so amazing, and the fighting, and the thing is, and here's what I love about it, close shots. Shut the hell up! Are you dumb? Like, yo, like you've never seen Gundam like that in your life. Exactly. Like,
That's what's crazy.
In 3D.
Oh, please.
That dude was right here in my face, like, oh, like, he's nuts, bro.
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
I absolutely loved, like, that was, to me, that stole the show for me. That bit, I was holding my, it's Gundam, what? I was like, it's crazy. Again, soon as the movie finished, what do? Go on Amazon, Gundam for the prices. Guys, whoever's selling these things on Amazon, you cannot be charging £200 for Gundam on Amazon, fam. Like, what's going on? It's mad. 200 quid. Yeah, but oh my, I can't get over that shit.
It was good. I'm glad the way they even brought Mechagodzilla to life as well, because obviously, like I think WB has got the rights to all those characters, and because obviously we kind of see King Kong in the beginning,
right?
And obviously they're trying to make that whole universe with them right now. So I think is it WB that has that?
I would presume so, unless they rented out the character to be in the movie, and then they, you know.
So yeah, so right now in the Mecha, I was like, yeah, I like that. That was pretty deep. Obviously he's melting Iron Giant's back with the.
Did you see that? That was so raw.
Yeah, man. I was like.
And you're just like, he's better than what? No, he can't go like this, not yet.
So true, and then obviously swings his tail when he smashes the DeLorean. I was like, wow, this guy's just not about to be stopped. And then also the Gundam fight.
It's when he pulls out the sword.
That's it.
Jesus.
Cutting through him like
what?
Anything. But yeah, that was crazy. I love that. But yeah, so the fighting scene when they eventually all meet up and they start throwing down, it was a Serena versus Pazriel. Oh my lord, that was deep.
It's mind blowing.
I love that as well. I wanted more of it though. I think the Raiders spoiled me on this when it comes to hand in hand combat, man. Especially when you got CGI, like you could just go like CGI. Obviously, you get mocaps and stuff, but at the same time, come on, man, they could do almost whatever.
Bro, too much ice cream is bad for your stomach, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Just leave it there. I know it's tough. It's tough because you always want more, isn't it?
True.
So, and you read the book as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
it
was a tease. Obviously, they throw it down, and it was like, dude, that I was like, yo, man's about to throw her Duke in. I was like,
yo, fam,
cool.
He pulled out nowhere. Like hand combat, and all of a sudden, and it's just like the game, the latest Street Fighter game, when Ryu does that, and you kind of see like the swell of energy come through,
exactly.
You know? And you just see the Hadouken. And the thing is, yeah, he didn't even put much emphasis on saying Hadouken.
That's it. He just did the whole motion.
But he did say it. But again, delivery on point. Like, it's just, he didn't say it out loud, you could still hear it, but at the same time you're like, oh, he just did that, dude. What? Like, and again, and you just watch stuff like this, and I know it's not fair on other movies, but it's like, it is possible for us to have these movies. Like, listen, whoever, like, after watching this movie, we can definitely have a Street Fighter movie. You can.
I know we can, but
you can.
I know we can.
We can. You can even. Hey, I'll throw it out there. You can have a Dragon Ball movie.
Nah, no way.
You can.
You can, but
you can. But it's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
In fact, Street Fighter's got the something Fist Assassin. That's a good movie. Have you seen that?
Fist Assassins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. They got that, but then they kind of fill up with the next one.
Right.
The
So
stuff with Charlie Nash.
Look.
So yeah, that's something you can have it, but I don't know.
But one thing that we didn't mention, and I feel that at the beginning, the way Back to the Future the way they brought in, like, so guys, so everything is from an object, and you know they just throw it to the floor, and it just like Lego builds its stuff.
That's it, yeah.
But the way it just came, and just like, oh. And the camera panning around it, and you're just like, holy crap.
Yeah, exactly that.
What? Just
that kind of
looks beautiful. And obviously, sorry, we're going back again, but the car scene, the racing with it, it's epic.
Yeah,
it's super epic.
It's a good way to start the movie, that's for sure. Like, I mean, everything they just did in the Oasis was like hands down one of the best stuff I've seen in a long time on screen. Like, they just craps all over Pacific.
Like,
what do you want to call it?
I don't even want to hear about that, but is what I like about this whole the way it's been put together, that you can get a kid, right, who's into, you know, maybe he's into Power Rangers, you know, just watches the regular Cartoon Network action comic, right? You can take that kid and watch this movie, and although they will enjoy this movie, but you can almost be like a plug, a lesson for them to be like, oh, what is this character? What is this character? What is this character? And now they can go into the past and learn the history of what we got as a kids. I find that so cool.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? Like a kid that can be there and be like, oh, like, what is that? A Gundam? What's a Gundam? You know, like you know what I'm saying? Then they can go back and, I don't know, maybe grab a Blu-ray. Just don't charge, you know, pay £200 for it. But Iron Man, for example, really cool. And the kids, like this generation, can go and watch it and be like, oh, Iron Giant is really cool to watch. So, again, like, this is what this movie has done. But yeah, final thoughts on it?
Final thoughts, like, it's a good, fun ride. Like, I love all the little nods here and there. It does add to the movie. We see Goro with getting sliced up by an alien or stop the key or kind of thing. That kind of stuff is just like, again, it's constantly like keeping you, when she was like, throughout the movie you saw me, was like, oh, did you see that? Oh my god, is that? Oh my god, is that person? And I just love that kind of stuff. And I think the last time I felt that was probably like Scott Pilgrim. So it kind of
Don't tell Joe that.
But yeah, so yeah, it's a good, really fun ride, man. But I think that for me, the acting let it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when it came to the real world, there's some performances I just wasn't believe. Like it's weird because obviously I come to the real world, it's almost like I don't want to be here. But plug into the Oasis, I'm like, I'm here, bro.
But I think that was the whole purpose of it, you know, because it's like it's supposed to be draining. See, it's like, I don't want to be here. Like, yo, give me the next scene of the Oasis. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's perfect for this movie, because then you wouldn't be much conflicted in being in either place. You just be like consistently going in one direction. While if you keep getting pulled in and out of each world, then you're like, okay, now I'm here, now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was done purposely and delivered brilliantly. But I get what you're saying. You rather just live in the Oasis. You just want to move in the Oasis.
That's it. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
But like there were some performances in the real world I thought that they should have done a lot better. Like the whole relationship with him and his aunt. Like in the book, like his aunt doesn't like him at all.
Oh, right.
Like, they have a bad relationship. It's like, you're just here because of your mum. Like I'm stuck with you, and then her and the deadbeat guy both hate him.
Right.
Kind of thing. But hey, they're trying to allude to that. Oh, you are my nephew, so I kind of like you.
Right.
Like if you do any nonsense, I'm kicking you out anyway. I was like, no, that's just, I don't like. When she got blown, I was like, oh, okay.
To be honest, I was like,
it happened.
That was.
But in the book, he still tries to save her, but at the same time, he's like, no, wait, does he try to save her? I don't think he does, but he's like, I wasn't there anyway. Wait, he was a bit pissed off because obviously it's his aunt. The guy's still a kid, But I was like, so some performances in the real world I didn't really care about, but the Oasis, every single time, I was just glued to the screen. I just wanted to know what happened next. So it was like again, 70-40. 70-30. 70-30. Don't know my maths.
Well, I absolutely love this movie. I can't wait. I will be watching again sometime next week. I can't wait to pick it up on Blu-ray. I love the gems. I can't wait to see more. Like, obviously, second time watching it, and I was telling you, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice his belt, you know, the first time. So there's always a lot of stuff to pick up. Like, even on like, and there's the thing I picked up this movie. Every time someone wore a jacket, I was searching to see what kind of patches they had in it. Like,
did you know I think his name's Saito, the Samurai.
Yeah.
You had the Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
That's
yeah.
it.
The dragon. Yep.
I was like,
I picked that one up the first time.
there you go. See?
But H, I picked up H, the Wonder Woman on the.
Oh, see, didn't pick it up.
Didn't pick it up. See, I picked up this.
See, stuff like that.
But
Always
stuff on the wall.
When you said, "Oh, Raven from Teen
Raven
Titans."
from Teen Titans, like what?
Everywhere there's that
Crazy.
Yeah,
So
love it.
yeah, I just can't wait to watch again and pick one or two more gems because it was just brilliant. But overall, it's a must watch. I'm pretty sure it will be one of the best movies this year, hands down, and you guys should go watch it. Now, ratings. What would you rate this movie?
This is a tough one.
It's tough.
Yeah, for me, it's like I said, that the real world shenanigans is like, oh gosh, what's going on? Every time they're on the Oasis, I was like, yo, show me more. And then just didn't get enough of it. So, like I said, the acting sometimes is.
But isn't that a good thing?
Well, that.
Like, cause you wanted more. Like, yeah, of course. Like, but that's the thing, and this is the brilliance of this movie. Why do you think everybody was in the Oasis? Like, even the mom. Like, the kid's like, yo, mom. And she's not on the sofa playing the game. You was one of them, Sam.
Yeah, I was.
Exactly. So, that's a good thing. That's the whole
thing.
point of this movie. You being in the Oasis. And it was just like them. So, to me, that's a plus, man. That's a plus.
The only thing is, like, there's some performances I was like, I didn't believe what you just did. Or that's too cliche.
Really?
Yeah, just some stuff that I was like, I'll let it slide because we're about to go in the Oasis though. And I loved it. But that's what I mean. Everything that I can't get anything like, in the Oasis. I was like, everything's just perfect, inch perfect. Even the part where he's like, I'll bet you, like, there's only one record of Kira in his whole library thing. I bet you all my coins. And he's like, okay, cool. And he flicked it to him. And I was like, that coin, obviously I already knew. I was like, that coin's gonna do something for that dude.
Right.
Like, have it back. And just little nods like that. Even like the whole like mystery solving, everything in the Oasis. When we go back to the real one, I was like, I don't care what's going on here. The whole drone things happening in the world. I was like, I don't care.
Alright, so what is your final rating? How many sofas are you giving this movie?
Oh, the real world lets it down a lot.
A lot?
Yeah, it lets it down a lot. It's like 30% of the movie, man.
Wow, man.
30% of the movie.
Damn.
I know. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's
what?
It's almost a 4.
What?
It's still a good movie though.
You're insane.
No,
you are insane.
everything has to be good,
Oh
man.
my days,
What
Sam.
would you give it?
What?
I'll still go watch it again. That's the crazy thing.
3.5 though.
3.5, yeah.
You're giving this movie a 3.5.
Performances let it down.
Yo, you lot need, like, guys, if you see this movie, talk to your boy right now. Talk to him. Because he's wilding out.
They're gonna understand.
3.5.
No, the Oasis parts are
No.
all good.
No way.
All good. But
No
when you go to the
way.
real world, they didn't like it. What do you give it?
So, I'm giving this movie a solid 4.5, right? And the only reason why I'm not giving it a 5 yet is because I'm still caught up in the hype, so I don't want that to dictate. But I would have no problem to sit here and tell you this movie is a 5 for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I will give it a 4.5 because scrap that. I'm giving it a 5. Shut up, fam. You're mad. You're mad.
I'm mad.
Listen. First things first. Right. So, delivery on point, acting on point, characters going in and out in a real world character, Oasis character on point. The whole contrast between them, amazingly done. Right. The fact that you've got the book, but they made their own little thing.
I love that.
Just exactly. Right. So that's a bonus for me because I actually thought that was the book itself, and obviously they would make 1 or 2 changes. Right. No, Steven Spielberg, genius as it is, made his own thing, right? CGI, like the whole concept, mad thing, right? The characters they gave us right? So nostalgic. Sorry. What? Ninja Turtles? What?
Yeah.
Like the whole transition was crazy. The delivery is mad, right? The score, nuts. I
love
know
the
when you
score.
first heard that.
I was really sucked too.
Man
Come
was
on,
already
man.
back in the 80s,
Yeah.
real quick,
Yeah,
fam.
yeah.
Right? So it's a 5 for me. Boom.
Five for me.
5. It's a broken sofa for me. Do you know how excited I was for you to be back in the UK just so I can watch this movie with you, because that's how excited I was. Like, what? You make no sense to me, bro. Oh my, I'm actually upset with you. A 3.5.
It's almost
Oh,
reaching
you
a 4.
Almost.
Almost.
So what's alright? So what does it stop it from being a 4? And you just keep saying the acting on the real world.
Yeah.
So the acting in the real world is gonna dictate the
sucked
whole
me out.
1 point. It's the whole point of the movie.
But come on, you still gotta be on point though.
The real world is a crap place. They live on stacks.
But that doesn't mean that some of the actors were like
Stacks.
just dead.
Fam, animals don't live on stacks. Fam.
That's unfortunate
Like,
for them.
that's
Unfortunate for them.
yo.
But like I said, some of the actors are like, you're dead. Like, you should have died. You shouldn't be here. In fact, he was like I said, TJ Miller was only an avatar. If we saw him in the real world, maybe I would have been like, okay, cool. But again, see, only an avatar. That makes some kind of sense to me.
Like, you know what? Like, I didn't care that he was only an avatar, because every time he came on the screen,
Yeah, he stole the show.
he stole. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even whether he was serious or not, when he came onto the disco and he told Harley Quinn and the other two girls, "Yo, bounce," and them two like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just. And then there's times where he was like, would ask him about him, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, my shoulder." Like, yo, come on,
That's
man.
what I mean, stuff like that. Like,
Stuff,
but
come
I needed more stuff like that in the real world though. Like I said, like
But the
Ben,
real world is not supposed to be like that.
That is not supposed to be
That's
like that.
why everybody's in the Oasis.
Well, like at the
That's
same
crazy,
time, like
man.
Ben, like he was a bit campy for me sometimes. Like freaking, the whole, like you're the head of this corporation. You're leaving the password on your thing. Like, out of all things to do,
It's old school, fam.
yeah, that's dumb, man.
Look,
Stuff like that just sucks me. Like that's what I mean. Stuff like that is just so cliche. I was like, no, I can't deal with that. But then going to the Oasis, see his man's avatar, I didn't care about that anymore because that's what I mean. So like, just the acting. If it was a bit more panache, a bit more better. Like I didn't have a problem with the main two. Like I forgot their names already, but Pazurel and Artemis's characters in the real world, not really no problems there. Like, but yeah.
all right, cool. So overall,
Is it a 4?
it's a 4.5.
This guy. Yeah, it's a good movie though. I enjoyed it. I'm definitely going again. I'm definitely going to see it in 3D.
You definitely have to watch it.
Yeah,
in 3D,
definitely have to watch it.
definitely.
I'm going to get the 3D Blu. I don't even have a 3D TV, but I'm getting a 3D Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Find someone with a 3D TV.
Yeah. Oh, you know, speaking of which, you know what? Yeah, this is how cool. This is how I know you missed out on the first screening.
This guy.
So on my row, right? Again, the cool kids came to watch it, you know, on the first screening. This guy had the personalized 3D glasses. Boom. I was like, oh, is that a thing now? Is this where we're at? Customized 3D glasses?
Mad.
I guess that's what we're heading towards. Mad. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think. Obviously, this has been our spoiler review of Ready Player One. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with what I say? Did you disagree with Sam's rating? It's mad today.
This guy.
Have you watched this movie? Are you going to watch this movie after this review? And I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, more or less, man. That's been the review of Ready Player One. I'm Sam, Mr. Blitz Tech,
And I'm Raven the GS.
and we'll see you in the next movie review.
Peace.
Peace.